Hello, how you doing? This is Killer Guru Jack, formerly known as Phantasmal Paranormal. The paranormal is still here, just the name isn't. This is for those of you who don't know, I am an amateur paranormal investigator. I like to talk about the paranormal. I like to do spirit box sessions, the art of investigation from time to time. And I like to do videos like this where I like to discuss paranormal topics that maybe you may find interesting or maybe help get you interested in this really strange and weird world. I've been doing this for about 6 years, 7 years or so. And I've talked about nearly everything compared to like spirits, radios, apps, you name it. I've talked about it all and gotten a bit of flack from time to time in the process because debaters hate, apparently. And unfortunately, I'm going to cop a little bit more flack. So, yes, we're talking about apps again, where I have spoken about Spirit Box apps numerous times in the past and why I don't use apps and so on. And you see them all the time. You see like Huff Paranormal using them, especially, and obviously, as you saw in the thumbnail. But only thing is, many of these apps have been used. Now, I am not saying that apps, Spirit Box apps, Ghostbox apps, do not work. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is we don't know exactly how. And I know some of you may say who you're in, if you're into the paranormal, will say, well, these guys who make the apps, who use the apps, they tell us exactly how they work. They have no words implemented in them. They have no sentences implemented in them. And I'm supposed to just take their word for it and assume that they're telling the truth, I guess. And I've always said the only way I will ever believe that is the case is if you can dissect your app, open up your app, even reveal the coding, everything. Because apps are programmed to work a certain way anyway. They're coded to work a certain way in their programming. So I would say if you really have nothing to hide with these apps, then release all of that information. And we can see that and know that it's proper legit. And then I will have a little bit more patience with apps and I'll have a little bit more patience into the capabilities of these Spirit Box apps. Now I stick to mostly Spirit Box radios, things like I've used the Jensen, PSP7, COS, manual scan. I've used all sorts of devices in my time, in the whole time I've been doing this Spirit Box stuff. And the thing which I'm talking about today with Spirit Box apps is AI. Now, as many of you know, Chat GPT, so many different AI systems have come out in the last few years, and it got me thinking about Spirit Box apps, especially because a lot of these sound banks in these apps, the sound banks are already preset. They already have they already have sounds that are playing within them that have been coded into that have been uploaded into those audio banks, and that's just what's playing. But only thing is, can spirits manipulate that audio in order to create their own answers, phrases, or maybe even sentences from time to time? Well, the audio manipulation theory is the best possible theory that we have for how spirits communicate. Um, that they can take a piece of audio, they can manipulate it to form their own words, sentences, and so on. Now, I use radios because it's just coming out of static, and when it's flipping through the different stations and so on, you never know like what's going to happen. Now, some of you may say that when you're using a Spirit Box radio, like a PSP7, for example, all you're hearing is just radio. You're just hearing radio snippets and so on, and parts of stations or parts of broadcasts or interviews and so on. Now, while that is most probably the case, I don't believe it's the case every single time because I've had responses that I cannot explain. I have had something answer me back. I've had a back and forth with something. I don't know what that something is because we can't even prove ghosts are even dead people, and I've spoken about that many times as well. But I have had communication with something I cannot explain. And even I do not believe science can explain absolutely everything when it comes to spirit communication. But when it comes to apps, however, the reason why I cannot trust them is, like I said, I can't just take somebody's word for it that that's how it works, because how do I know they're not just bullshitting me? If they're brave enough to open up the coding, show us how the app works, everything. Now, I will have a little bit of patience for people such as Josh from Hope Paranormal. Now, Josh from Hope Paranormal, I will say in his app, he has put up the capability to being able to upload your own audio, no matter what the audio is. You can upload your own audio and it can scramble it and alter it So it's your own audio, and you can cross-reference it as much as you want. You're able to cross-reference any Spirit Box session that you have with your own audio. Now, I think that's a really cool thing to do, and I'm down for that. That's awesome. And I did a video when I was talking about EVP Maker. It's a similar sort of concept when I did a video on that you can upload your own audio, play it back, scrambles it, whatever it does, and you can see if you've gotten any responses from that. And it's really easy to cross-reference because it's your own audio that you have uploaded, and it can be anything. It could be just you whistling, it could be a song, just you talking, it could be anything whatsoever. But with AI, it got me thinking, with these AI, with the possibility of the Spirit Box Ghost apps having AI built into them, when you ask your question, does it have some sort of AI function to where it can reply to you nearly instantly? It can reply intelligently at a consistent rate, because anybody knows who has done a Spirit Box session before in their lives that it is hardly ever consistent. Rarely is it ever consistent. When it is consistent, that's exciting, but that has occurred with me only a handful of times where I've had a proper back and forth, yes, no, or even full sentences or phrases have come out. But with ChatGPT and the implementation of AI into so much of what we use today, ChatGPT, for example, that it got me thinking about, if you ask a question and it goes through its system to be able to basically pull out the answers which you may be looking for. So you may be thinking that you are talking to a spirit, whatever that spirit is, but you're actually getting responses just from the AI. But the people who are selling you this app or marketing this app are going to tell you that it's spirit, when there may be AI that's built into it which you do not know about, that's able to pluck answers out of thin air or just make one up. Like, if anybody has used ChatGPT, you can have it create all sorts for you. You can have conversations with it. It can make stuff for you. It can do so much. So why can't they implement it in apps? I am just saying. Mind you, it's not like anybody is actually going to admit to doing that when it comes to Ghostbox, Spirit Box apps. There is no way. There's no way anybody's brave enough, because it would truly destroy that app's credibility, if it has any credibility at all. Like I said, I use Spirit Box radios. And the reason why I use radios, and even I use radios which are not even designed for spirit communication, but they're hacked or they're altered in some way to be able to be used as such. Maybe they can scan at rates backwards and forwards in a sweep on AM or FM. But we know a lot more about how they work. When it comes to apps, no, I don't know who's really truly being entirely honest. And I think that with the implementation of AI into a lot of things, that it's definitely false. It's false positive city. If you can get answers instantaneously, and for some people it looks very convincing, like you got Cody ITC, I will never believe in a quadrillion years that guy is legit. I've seen so much come out about that guy and his evidence and the way he does things. Like, you cannot tell me that is real. I will bet any money. And that's why I look at his videos and I think, is he using some sort of AI system? Because some of these Spirit Box users or Spirit Box sessions that you see don't even show you what they are using as a Spirit Box, what they've got plugged into their amplifier or whatever. We don't know what they're using. They may say something, but as a matter of fact, they're using something else. What's to say they're not? It just depends what you believe or what you don't. And with AI being able to imitate voices of celebrities and so on, this is where celebrity Spirit Box sessions come into it. So it may sound like that celebrity. It may give answers that maybe that celebrity might give. But only thing is, it's an imitation. It's an impression that AI is doing of that voice. Now, I'm not saying all of what I've said is happening in these apps. I don't know if any of these apps actually use this sort of system, like an AI system. But I have a feeling some of them might. But that's just my hot take on Spirit Box apps today. I want to know your thoughts. I'm just throwing something at the wall and just seeing if it sticks, because maybe you've not thought about this. Like I said, is anybody going to admit to using AI in their Spirit Box apps? Of course not. That is never going to happen. But I have a feeling that some of them are guilty parties. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And I will see you guys very soon in the next paranormal video, whether it'll be one of these or whether I'm going to be talking about something like my previous video that I just did yesterday, talking about mental health. And if you find that interesting, if it may help you, then for me, that's a job well done. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and bye bye for now.